Hi, everyone. Hi, girls.
Hi.
12 noon. We hit it right on the nose. Usually we get talking, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, we gotta go. We gotta go live. But we did it. We did it.
We did.
Welcome. I'm going to go on here and make sure that we are good to go. Thank you for joining us today. We dropped a little teaser yesterday that we had some announcements today, and we won't waste a lot of time. We'll wait for a few of you to jump on with us. But we feel excited for what God is doing. And sometimes the easiest way is to say it right here so that we get it out there and and we're not you're not hearing it through the grapevine.
Exactly. Right.
So that's why we wanted to do this today. If you're joining us, say hello in the chat that you can hear us and that all is good. As you know, we announced last fall that this is our 20th year. I can't even wrap my head around the fact Tina's the only OG with me, and Kevin Gerlavich, he's our keyboard player. 20 years ago, we started our worship services, and I can hardly believe.
Yeah.
Where has 20 years gone?
No kidding.
Well,
Do you know?
there's been a few babies in there.
Where has it gone?
No, 20 years. It's like
crazy.
a blink. I still remember our very first
Yeah,
service
me too, yeah.
at Liberty Christian
Yeah.
Assembly,
Yeah.
and back then, Embrace looks a little different than it does now.
Yeah.
We went to different churches.
We moved around for the first 10, 12 years, actually.
Yeah, we were different. Well, still different musicians from
Yeah.
different churches, and we would actually go to different churches for each service.
Yeah, that was actually really fun. That was the original kind of, we'd bump around to different churches. And then we did that for, I think, 13 years. And then in 2019 is when I really felt in my heart that we were supposed to take this to the next level, I felt God was saying. And so we had a major pivot, and we took Embrace to every single week, 2 months before a pandemic.
Yeah.
And we were shut down. And so we that was a real growth time. Like, when I look back, I'm like, if we hadn't have taken that step, I think Embrace probably would have died then.
Yeah.
Like, we would have things are shut down. There would have been, and that's when Embrace Live was born, when we started connecting with different pastors and leaders and people sharing their testimonies. And I love that was born during that time. That was really exciting.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for a good testimony.
Yeah, me too.
I was all in. And just how Embrace Live just was born, and
That was exciting.
it was an exciting time.
Yeah, it was. And so during a time when life was so uncertain,
Yes.
we actually grew a lot as a ministry. That's when Tina worked hard behind the scenes to get all of our paperwork and applying for our own charitable status. That was done kind of during that 2-year period. So we've had a lot of different seasons. And then a couple years ago, we felt to scale back and to do more Embrace Live and to take our services once a month. And that's been a really exciting, now I go, how on earth did we do this every week?
That was called commitment.
That was my husband, he was there every week setting up, and our musicians, it was I can't believe we did that for every single week for almost 5 years.
I think God gives you the energy, the enthusiasm, the fortitude to do what you're called to do.
Yeah, he does.
I don't think we could have done that just through the flesh.
No, I agree.
That was crazy.
It was crazy.
wild.
And that's when we kind of connected, was during that time.
Yeah, when I first connected or reconnected, because I used to go to the church services when I would hear about them. Right, but then I reconnected, I guess I would say, kind of for good. It was in 2020.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it was in 2020
When we stepped up.
that year. And when you talk about stepping into it, it's like so many places were shutting down and stepping back. You stepped into what God called you to.
Yeah.
And like for me personally and countless other people, that was our lifeline during that time.
Yeah, and that was a crazy time. But yeah, we really felt
Yes.
God positioned us for that time. And
definitely.
so that's kind of a bit of the background of Embrace Worship
Yeah.
in 5 minutes,
Yeah.
of what he's done in 20 years. And so this being our 20th year has been really, to be really honest, we'll jump right in. I have said and felt in my heart, and I've said to the girls probably a year and a half, 2 years ago maybe, that, once we hit 20 years, like, I want to relook at this and what is God saying? Have I not said
Yes.
that? Like, this has been kind of over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And those close to me who support us so much are always like, we got to keep doing this, and this is so great, and yet I knew in my heart maybe God was doing something different in my heart and in my spirit. And as we get closer to approaching that 20 milestone, I really felt, I chatted with everyone, chatted to our board, our partnership team, and we have made the decision that our monthly services will not resume in the fall. And as much as that's a big decision, like to shift and pivot from that, we still have 3 services remaining. I invite you to come out. I know that God is going to do some amazing things as we sing out and over our city for these last 3 services and finish off 20 years strong. That just, I just know that that's what he's called us to do, to finish well, to finish strong. And our team has been amazing. They've been so faithful and supportive for the last 2 years. And so we know that God is doing something. And so as we transition, I know when I told you guys, don't you get teary on me. Don't you dare get teary on me. I kind of had to keep it to myself for a little bit because it was something I didn't want to get talked out of. And I'm like, until I feel really confident in the decision, I don't want to say it too soon and be talked out of it. And so, because I really felt in my spirit that God was saying, get to 20. Get to 20. And not because we're done. And now that's the next part.
Right.
I felt like God was leading us into a new season. Something new.
Yeah.
And sometimes we can't see the new until we make a decision to shift and close the door. Not close the door, that's maybe not the right word, but that we're finishing off 20 and now we're going to move in a new direction now. Not fully new, because as you know, Embrace Live will continue.
That's right.
We are continuing with Embrace Live. In fact, we're going to amp that up a little bit in the fall, so be watching for that. Our charitable status is massively important to us. We give out more than we keep. God has provided for Embraced Worship, and the giving that comes in through the month, throughout the year, is what sustains us. It's not the monthly services that's sustaining us, it's the giving. And we want to thank you so, so much, those of you who continue to support Embraced Worship and make it possible for us to give back to our community, change lives. That's what makes me emotional.
You've got to keep it together, or I have no hope.
What we have been able to do and the testimonies that have come back that we've sown into people's lives, that's what I want to continue. That's what brings me so much joy. So our charitable status continues, Embrace Live continues, and be watching for other things that we feel God is leading us into. This is not goodbye.
Yeah.
This is a shift, a transition into a new season.
Yes.
And I feel excited about it.
Yes.
Now it's your turn.
Oh, great. Now you're going
Judy, you go, Judy.
I can go.
You go.
Yeah. So throughout all of this, I've been praying and asking the Lord, okay, what does this mean to you, Lord? What are you seeing on this? And just last night when I was praying, I saw a picture of a diamond. And so now I'll cry. So I said, okay, what does that mean for Embraced Worship? Because we're not dropping the worship. So what does worship mean? So worship is more than just people gathering in a room and singing songs, which we're still going to do that some way, somehow, who knows, right? We don't know what God does. And the diamond represents the many different facets. The hard part on top, That's our foundation. That's where we stand. And if you take, even with the naked eye, and you look into a diamond and you see all of the different angles and the different cuts, I felt that that represented what he has continuing for Embraced Worship. There have already been some facets, built within that diamond, and so he's just continuing to build more. Right? And we trust him.
Yes.
And through the Holy Spirit, we will continue to see the glow and the brilliance
of what he's going to do.
What he's going to do.
That's so good.
That is
That's
really
all.
good.
I love that.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I mean, when Larissa first shared that this was what God had put on her heart, like most of her changes, it always takes me a little longer to process them.
That's why we're a good balance.
We
though.
are a good
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah.
She's the visionary, and I have to say, you have not been wrong yet. Every correct course, not even a course correction, but every new direction
Pivot.
pivot we've done has been
For the better.
For the better and dead on. We've always received confirmation in so many different ways that it's been the right move.
Yeah.
So I had a chance to, to
Take a minute.
Yep. Do on it, sleep on it, pray on it, do all of the above, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for, Embrace Live has really been exciting and life-changing in so many different ways.
It has been,
It has seen us through some seasons, personally and through other people. I think it's really touched a lot of people.
And it takes us beyond Red Deer.
Yes. It's taken us internationally sometimes.
It takes us beyond.
And we've talked about, some other things that we'll probably share later, but Embraced we have some big ideas, and you're definitely going to see more out of us. Just it's going to look a bit differently.
I love that. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I'm not a person that likes change, so I held on. I held on to this a long time, feeling like, this feels like weird. Like, what does that mean? What does it look like? And I feel like God is making, my husband said it so well this morning, he's like, sometimes you don't see the next step until you take the next step. And we can keep doing the same old thing that we've always done, but we have to be open to hearing. And that's always been my heart. My dad, going back, he's been gone for 26 years, he always said to me, always pray to have your finger on the pulse of what God is doing now. Not what he used to do, not what he's maybe going, what is he doing now? What is he saying now? And so that really was my prayer. I'm like, God, what are you saying now? And 3 weeks ago, I felt, well, more than that, I just felt like, he's leading us into a new direction, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yes.
So our last 3 services, you guys, April 14th, May 12th, and our last service, our anniversary celebration of 20 years, you guys, will be on June 9th. And we want to invite you to come and to join us and to just thank him for all that he's done. We will never see all that God has done over the last 20 years until we get to the other side where we see what has been accomplished. And I love that through all of it, it's been difficult the last few years. There's been so many times where I'm like, I feel like this is done. I feel like this is done. And God just kept saying, get to 20. Get to 20. Just finish to 20. Complete the assignment of 20 years. That's what I really felt. And so I didn't understand what that meant fully. And I want to share this with you guys before we let you all go. But Judy is a numbers person. And so I was thinking yesterday, I'm like, I wonder what 20 means. Like, what does the number, is it significant to us at all? And I just want to read this because this was so much confirmation to me about what God has done, why the last few years have been such a push for, and in some areas, pressure to quit, to not finish to complete 20 years. Now I get it.
Yeah.
And I'll read this for you guys. Prophetically, the number 20 symbolizes a complete period of waiting, testing, or preparation, often concluding with the start of a new or significant phase. It is associated with the Hebrew word kaf, K-A-F, which symbolizes an open palm or hand, signifying God's open hands freely giving and for covering. In the Bible, the number 20 symbolizes a new beginning and often marks a significant transition point. That's where I believe we are right now, before a divine promise is fulfilled. In essence, the number 20 signifies the end of one cycle and the commencement of a new one, marked by lessons learned. Have we not learned a lot in the last 20 years? Divine expectancy. Our word for the year was expectant. And the anticipation of what is to come.
Amen to
That is God's
So
word for us.
good.
That's what we're standing on. And we feel as much, of course it's sad to say, you know what, it's changing. It's like you move out of a house and you're moving to another house, or you change this job and you move to a different job. There's sadness in saying, okay, this part is over, but there is an excitement that we're opening a door to a brand new season. So
Yeah, and we rather be leaving on, say, I guess, like say with some sadness, but gladness at the same time, rather than
expectation.
glad that's over.
Yeah,
but
totally.
it's not like that at all.
No.
And like we've said before, like we just love and appreciate all of the people who have come, and I think of, now I'll cry at that little birth table, and how anybody who's there, you just be ready for some hugs in June from me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, our merch is continuing.
The merch is
For sure.
continuing, but say me behind the table type of thing. But it's just been such a wonderful, wonderful experience for me.
Yeah.
It has, and I just can't thank you enough for sure, because you listen. And I always say that you listen, and you listen to what God says.
Yeah.
Not what, and like you said, you took time. You didn't want to hear anybody else's voice in the mix.
Yeah.
Only His.
Yeah, and it's hard. Of course it's hard. Tina. It is hard, but out of everything you take from this today, I hope you take that this isn't goodbye. This is a shift into an exciting new season. Even though we maybe don't have it all figured out yet, the visionary side of me feels very expectant, just like this said, is that 20 years, this is a new season for us and for me. And I feel like this is what needs to happen so that we can see that. And Judy said it best, really, like you said, you know what, when you work on a job, the goal is to move into something else. You don't want to always stay in the same position. You want to grow. You want to learn new things. You want to. And she said, I feel for you. This is for all of us.
Yeah.
We are being led into something new.
Yeah.
And that's good.
It's like a promotion. Like I said, when you do well, and then your boss calls you in and says, you did this position. You've done this very well. We're going to, offer you this position.
Yeah.
And you do well at that, and you get offered the next one. We don't want to just stay, in the same.
And you guys know, and my family knows, and those close to me know, I have always said, I don't want to do this 1 second longer than I'm supposed to.
Right.
And to always just be obedient. And last Tuesday, when I had Embrace Live for our Esther series, I said something there, and it was quickly, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's for me. Where I shared, that meme where Jesus is talking to the little girl, and she's holding the teddy bear, and she's saying, but I want to keep him. And he's holding the bigger teddy bear behind his back. And he's like, but I have something better. Yeah. And I felt like God really released me and said, you know what? I know this is hard. Of course it's going to be different. Yeah. Of course change is challenging. But there's something more. And that's what we all want. The purpose is to grow, to stretch ourselves, to be obedient, not to just stay in the same place. And so as much as we've loved this season, we know that it's time. And what a time to wrap up those services at 20 years. And we hope and invite you to come and join us for those last 3 services, because I know and feel in my spirit they're going to be very special as we leave our mark and leave a sound, and what God has called us to do is we leave that in the atmosphere of Red Deer. That is going to be really special, really special. So that is it. That's the tea we're spilling. All right, so I think that was it. Anything else? Our word expectant really is the word that we're leaning on. We are expectant, we're hopeful, we're excited, and we thank each one of you for partnering with us. And we invite you to continue. As we continue, our vision is still to give back, to sow into this community that we love so much. And really, when we looked at this, we're like, those are the parts of Embrace that have continued to really grow and flourish. And His grace has been on that, and His favor has been on that. The fruit is telling us we got to follow the fruit. That's where God is leading us, is to continue doing that. So stay tuned of what things are to come, and save those dates for our last 3 worship celebrations. We would love to have you come and join us. Love you, girls.
I love you too.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. You can share this, help us get the word out, and we would love to see you at one of those worship services, especially June the 9th, when we celebrate 20 years of Embrace Worship. We'd love to see you then.